Good morning. My name is Nathan Morris. It's 6 a.m. here in Ottawa, a nice, quite acceptable -6 degrees, February 8th, 2022. I'm here for the Ottawa Dads Walking Club, and it's a club for dads that I'm launching on March 1st that aims to help dads find a way to get together to do some exercise and hang out, talk about parenting, talk about health, fitness, socialize. So today's topic is how you can add small amounts of good things to your life and that can have a much larger impact on improving your quality of life and helping you to discover new things. So I think that, first of all, as a preliminary, I think the routines are in general a good thing. We all have that relative who we joke that you can set a clock by grandpa so and so or by uncle or aunt so and so because they're so strict in their well-worn routines. And that gives another hint that sometimes there is a downside to routines. Once that path gets so heavily grooved, it starts, as much as it starts adding comfort and adding a lot of good things. If a person has a routine where they eat a healthy breakfast and then they get some exercise, that's a good thing, right? But the downside is that if the routine is too strict, you're cutting yourself off. A person who only watches a certain channel of news and only reads a certain type of book is going to be cut off from other voices and other perspectives. So one of the ideas that I'm thinking about for the Ottawa Dads Walking Club, first of all, for those of you who are new, the main part of the club is getting together once a month to do a moderately paced walk and hang out and socialize with other dads. Another part of the group, though, is I want to do a special activity each month just to try and shake things up. And this could be a future activity. I think as little as 5 minutes a day of a new activity can maybe spark something new in your mind. And one of the things I talked about on a previous little chat is that it's a nice way of dividing up the different quadrants, if you will, is I think of things in terms of the body, physical stuff, mind, intellectual stuff, thinking, spirit, which could either be religious and faith-based, or it could be non-religious, like being in awe of nature. And then there's a fourth category, which is sort of values and practices. Values, patience, discipline, flexibility. So if you spend as little as 5 minutes a day on a new body activity, so that could be either stretching or squats or sit-ups, as some of the exercises will actually surprise you because you thought it was mostly a physical workout, and then you discover it's actually it has balance elements or it has endurance elements. So, and then 5 minutes a day for a new intellectual activity. Maybe you've never listened to podcasts. Maybe you can try podcasts. Maybe you haven't read fiction since high school because maybe you got off on the wrong foot with the fact that things were being assigned to you and you were being graded on them. That whole thing put a negative, and you had this feeling that fiction was somehow this weighty thing that you were forced to do. But now you can choose your own books, and for fiction reading, you don't have to choose the approved classics. You can have steampunk novels. Uh, you can have dystopian fiction. There's all sorts of newer types that might spark your interest. For the 5 minutes of spiritual thing, if you're a person of faith, maybe you could read the Bible, the Quran. If you are if you're an atheist, maybe you could go just for 5 minutes, just walk outside and really focus on the sounds of nature. And that's helping to connect you or to that more spiritual side. And for the values and practices side, you could spend 5 minutes doing a journal entry on patience, thinking about how patience plays out in all sorts of parts of their life. Patience as a dad when the little ones are going rogue, patience with your significant other, patience with family members, mother, father, brothers, and or you could do a 5 minutes where you speculate, where you sit down and think about something like flexibility. Adding flexibility in your life so much improves things. The more you get, I find the more you're rigid, the more you're going to be unhappy. Because if you have, anytime you say like, on this vacation, we have to stay at the Golden Gates Motel. Well, Golden Ghost Motel might be booked and you're going to be pouting in the corner. If you have to be like, the more you're flexible and say, I want to stay at least a this many star motel, then now you're more open-minded. So now when one of the things I would encourage if we did this would be that you don't lock into anything. It's always exploration. So you started out by seeing this, by going on these environmental podcasts as for your mind work. It turns out you find the person really boring. Just change it. Next day, change it. You try a bunch of these different podcasts and none of them interest you. Change your whole mind activity. It's about trying to spark something new and uncover something new. One other comment, as I would encourage anyone who would do this, if we do it, to exclusively do the thing. We're all multitaskers now. We've got one thing going on here. We're folding some laundry and we're texting to our brother. But for these things, it would be good to really focus and just as an experiment, see if you find you get better quality from your experience if you only focus. So turn off the TV, turn off the music, ask family and significant other if you just need that 5 minutes for your focus, and then come back. And then the final part is where the dads will get together either at the walk or on a Zoom call, and we can discuss it, and you can share your learnings with your discovery. Maybe you discovered something, and when another dad tells about something they discovered, maybe that author or podcaster or that person will be of interest to you, and you'll be intrigued to try it out. By testing and experimenting, trying new activities, maybe there's a book out there that's going to change your life, and it's sitting out there on the shelf, and you just don't know about it yet. And by trying and exploring, maybe you and that book will meet up and have a lovely new friendship. So the final part of the morning routine here that I'm doing is jogging and push-ups and jogging. Is in order to promote the first challenge for the Ottawa Dads Walking Club, I'm doing push-ups and jogging and recording some of it to show my commitment. So I'm doing push-ups and jogging every day. I started out doing 10 push-ups a day, 10 push-ups, jogging, and 10 push-ups. Now I'm augmenting it by one just as a fun challenge for myself. Today, it's up to 17 push-ups, jog, 17 push-ups. Now onto the push-up. I'm Nathan Morris for the Ottawa Dads Walking Club, and have a great day.